titled How to Change Broken Wheel Studs on a Saturn Vue, which is exactly what I had to do this morning. And you might be faced with the same situation as I was over the past week. Had strange sound coming from the front of the car, and thought it was the brakes, but the brakes weren't due. So before I went out and bought brake parts, I wanted to go in and check and make sure, and found out to my surprise that the brakes were absolutely fine, but I had two broken wheel studs. And as you can see, the studs are fine now because I've just changed them out. And you might be wondering if it's something that's extra difficult to do, and it could be, but in my case I was able to get away with murder, because I did change the wheel bearing less than 2 years ago. I've got a video on that. I think it was May of 2018. So I was smart enough to keep some extra wheel studs, and I am very happy I did so, because I was able to simply remove the brake system, and you take off the disc, take off the brake caliper, take off your disc, and if you look behind here, there is just enough room to to get the old stud out and squeak a new stud in. So I'm very happy that these two studs, which are from my old bearing, were kept, and I was able to change them out, or else I would have had to buy a whole new bearing and change it, even though this one is still good. So if you didn't keep the bearing from the last time you changed it, you might still be able to get away with not having to buy a bearing if you think it'll still last you. If your bearing has never been changed, then maybe you might think about changing it, because while you're in there, it's probably due. Or if you don't think you're going to keep the vehicle that long and you don't want to change the bearing, then just buy the studs. However, be very careful, because not all studs are the same. As you can see, these are the ones that are from the bearing that I changed 2 years ago, and these studs here are a little bit different, and these are the originals that came with the vehicle from my old bearing, but they fit inside the hole. And the here, let me show you what I have, how the stud holds in from the back. This is the broken stud, all right? It's a little bit shorter, as you can see, broken off. I got two of them that were broken off. Hit the side of the road, and that noise started right away, so I probably broke the studs right off as I hit the curb. But the important part is this knurled area right here, I guess you would call it. And as long as the stud has the same size knurling and will press fit inside the hole of the bearing, then you're good, and you could just change the studs without having to change the bearing. So I'm very pleased this morning that I don't have to change my bearing. I actually went out and bought one for 175 Canadian dollars plus tax, and I'll be able to return that to the store later on, because I don't need the bearing since this one's brand new. Hope it helps. I'll speak to you guys in the next video. In the meantime, have a wonderful day. See you in the next one.